This document is one of the opening statements, and it's a really good research tool, or if somebody is planning to get into the Letby case, I wish I had read this originally. It's quite a long read. Like I said, it's the transcripts of some of the opening statements, and they basically give a very long and detailed timeline of events that went on in the hospital, including all of the meetings. So it's just a useful summary, like if you were going to be writing a book or something on it, this would come in handy. It's quite long, but yeah, if someone wants to get into it, I would recommend this document. Obviously I'll leave a link. And the only point really I want to make about it is they also, it being the opening discussions, they hint at what they're going to be investigating, going to be questioning people on. Now, what I want to talk about is just this one thing with Dr. Chris Green, who was heading the grievance investigation, and he concludes, I'm therefore concerned as to whether this warrants further investigation under the Trust's bullying and harassment policy with regards to Brewery and JR. And what the inquiry talk about is they bring up their questioning Ian Harvey here, and they say they mention this quote from Ian Harvey: "I have reflected on the appointment of Chris Green to lead the investigation into the grievance, as in hindsight I think we should have selected someone who was completely independent from the hospital. My lady, there are a number of obvious and intertwined issues which arise from the sequence of events we have referred to." So what they're talking about is basically there was a minor dispute between Dr. Chris Green and I think it was Steve Brewery over some sort of pharmaceutical overdose or over prescription that somehow led to a death of a non-indictment baby, and they were suggesting that because there was a disagreement between the two people, that there might have been some sort of tensions. And again they go on to say, was the investigating officer, Dr. Green, the right person for the job in light of the concerns raised by Dr. Brewery about a prescribing error in relation to one of the deceased babies, which Dr. Green agrees in his statement led to a degree of tension between the two of them in April 2016. So that's what they're sort of questioning. And what I wanted to say is, if they're questioning what Dr. Chris Green said was like a minor disagreement, and they're blowing it all out of proportion, and they're questioning the appropriateness of this professional doing an internal HR investigation, and they're questioning whether or not they should have got someone independent in. If they're putting that much emphasis on potential bias over this minor disagreement, how then, and why are they not raising this question? Is it appropriate for Breary and Jayaram, who the grievance was upheld and they were looking into the trust bullying harassment policy, the grievance was upheld against them, how appropriate then was it for them to lead the police investigation into Letby? Do you see what I'm saying? They're attacking this minor issue with Dr. Green's potential bias, and yet completely overlooking the fact that these two consultants literally had to attend mediation and had a grievance upheld against them. And then the only other minor thing I wanted to raise in this document, it says here that they've confirmed here that the trust's intention was that Letby cease professional rather than social contact with members of the NNU. But the miscommunication had resulted in Letby thinking that she was required to cease both. So they've admitted that here. Yet when it comes to the trial, Letby gets accused of lying about that, about whether or not she had to cease social contact with members of the NNU. But it's in black and white here. So, but yeah, if anyone's interested in doing some research into the case and getting a good timeline, there's a nice old 200-page opening statement document with all the info there.